what I'd like to do is introduce Sheila. How you doing tonight? We can't hear you. See, this is the technology for seniors. We got to teach
I understand that, but you know what? The most important thing, and actually somebody that gained from the webinar I did, is that it's okay to be vulnerable, and we don't have to be perfect. And so if I show that I'm not perfect, it helps everyone else out there also.
There you go. That's great. So what we've done is we put together some questions for you. And then also everybody out there on Facebook Live, feel free to go in the chat session and ask your questions. We'll try to answer as many as we can. So what I'm going to do first, the first question, and some of these are two-part questions. So kind of listen to the question and then answer freely to that, is for many people, technology could tend to be scary or overwhelming. Some people might say, hey, I'm technology illiterate. And so what kinds of things, I guess, would you work with and help them communicate? How do you teach them how to communicate, maybe some of the different tools they want to communicate with their friends, their colleagues, their family? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Well, thanks for the introduction and thanks for inviting me. I feel honored that I'm your first speaker. And of course, I have been a member of Alumni Direct and really appreciate how you're growing and what you're doing for everyone. Am I echoing?
No, you sound great.
Okay, thanks. But I want to, one tip is to, when you're on a webinar like this, is to get the phone off the hook. I don't know if you remember the days when the phones were on a hook. Anyway, as far as working, people have a lot of fears. When my sons try to convince me to get a computer years ago, I was like afraid I was going to break something and do something. And so I can understand the fears. I happen to be one that loves making discoveries and curiosity. So I like to instill that in people. The first thing in working with someone, anyone, and even like each of you teaching yourself, is what is it you want to accomplish? And definitely eliminate the illiterate. When Suki the other day said that, I went like this, because my mission throughout whatever I've done is to have people believe in themselves and that they can do it. And the way to do this is to simply break it down as to what one wants to accomplish and how important it is. Now, I find a lot of people today, seniors or older people, that have never been on the computer, don't want to do anything online, don't want to pay bills online, don't want credit cards, because they're afraid somebody's going to spam them or find them. We're known out there, even if we don't do a thing online. Google your name and you can be amazed at the amount of information, even though you've never done anything online. So my first step is to reassure people to get what it is they want to be accomplishing, to have confidence, to simplify, and just focus on that. In terms of needing to be connected, now, especially, everyone does have to have an email. I can help them set up an email address, a Google email address, free. In order to get anything now, when it's so important, people are ordering online, is have credit card. People are afraid of that. And I'll tell them to get a small credit card with a $500 balance, or not balance, but limit, so that they don't have to worry about that. And so it's a matter of setting that up. And then presumably, if they have devices, I tell people, some people had computers in the past and forget how to use them. It's not necessary for most people today, unless you're in business, to be, and even in business, you can work on a tablet or iPad, an Android tablet or a phone. So it's understanding that and starting to feel comfortable and just breaking it down. There are only two things you have to remember. With Apple anyway, and Google, is your password. And it gets tough when people don't have their passwords and we can't get into the, I'm not that technically skilled to get them into things. So does that pretty much answer your question?
That answers it. I appreciate that. And here's another question.